Hello there, folks. Hey, this is Joe Wazoo here. Hey, this quick video today is going to talk about the DA50 or DA70 FlexEdge products that have the HDMI port on them. I had a customer call the other day and said, hey, can you plug a mouse in or keyboard to this and direct it on the TV? And so I have never done that, but I borrowed a unit to try it out, and here I'm going to show it to you. So first off, the product that I'm talking about here, if you got Crimson 3.2 and you go to the file pull down and select new, under the FlexEdge products, under data FlexEdge, you can click on the DA50, for instance, and what you need to do is right here, the particular model number, hit the pull down, and if you pick the last one, that will make the program be set up for the HDMI video output, because there is something different. So I will show you that in a second. Matter of fact, it has a HDMI port right here, which I'll show you. Or on the DA70, if you hit the pull down here and pick the last one of the last two units here, again, the same thing goes for those two. So you need to pick the proper model, and then when you pick the one with the HDMI port, you click OK. Everything looks the same, except with the HDMI, you get this option over here under hardware configuration, video out. And on video out, you get the option to change your update refresh rate and whether you want to do some extended modes, which will make the page fill in the whole TV regardless of your TV size, or it stays whatever resolution you use here. And what I mean by resolution is when you click on general settings here, you can change the resolution of the web page, and also, of course, that affects the TV. So anyway, that's where you do that. Let me go over here. This is the database that I was using for testing. Now, in my configuration, let me just go back to here. I got my video out here. I want you to see that in the picture, which I'll show you in a second, my settings are 60 hertz, and I got the extended mode set to enhanced. And then if I slide down here in device configuration, down below here, team, you're going to get to a section called USB devices. And on USB devices, if you click on mouse, you're going to enable the mouse and you can do some changes. Now the default here is 100%. I don't know why I was having some problems at first, so I went ahead and changed it to 400%, but I think you can run it at 100. And I made it so that the pointer doesn't disappear until after 240 seconds. So I just wanted to leave it on there so it would show up on the screen and so forth. Now I went a step further here, and in this application, I created 4 data tags. I created a flag, which is our Boolean. I created a numeric tag. I made a floating point real and a string tag. The reason I did all of those is because I wanted to put those on a display page to allow me to try to put these in with the mouse. So that's what I set up here. Now I did have the mouse at first connected, and the mouse I'm using happens to be just a corded mouse. It has to be a corded mouse. You can't use one of the wireless ones because those actually have a USB driver, and that's not the case here. So you have to use a wired mouse to this. And I had the wired mouse in there and worked great. But when I clicked on a field, I would have to click on each thing, and it was kind of a little bit of work. So I thought to myself, is there a possible way that I could add a keyboard to this? So I went and looked in my goodies of tricks, and I found this expensive Logic keyboard I had, which is also a wired keyboard. So I have this thing and the mouse, and then I went a step further and I thought, is there something I could use as a hub? So I used this because I use this thing in my computer all the time because my laptop only has one USB port. Kind of makes me mad. But anyway, I used this, and so I plugged in my wired mouse and my wired keyboard to this, and then this part here went into the USB port. Now here's the DA70, let me go, or DA50, let me go over here. I connected all of that right here into this port, and then right here is the HDMI port that went to my TV. This is on the DA70, and then this one here, the DA50, has that there. You know what's interesting? The DA50 does not have, apparently, according to this picture, an HDMI or a USB port. Is that really true? Well, I'll have to look at that. Let me look at something before here. Hold on. Team, let me look here. Let me go over here. Let me just try something here. Let me go here. Oops. Well, I don't see it in the picture here. Let me click here. And let me go down here. Well, it has it here. Maybe the picture's bad. That's weird. Anyway, let's move on. It's odd. But okay, so I got those two. That's what I did. I plugged them in like that, and I downloaded it to the unit. I plugged the HDMI cable into my TV, and I don't have a camera to do a live feed, but here is a picture of my TV, if you will. There's a wall here, whatever. But you get the dot here, and that's the mouse. So when I go to move it, that would move on the screen. I could click on things just like I do from the web page up above. That works great. What I thought was really cool, though, is with the keyboard, I could click on the string field here, and then I could use the keyboard to type. Yes, I could click on the characters, but that's a lot of work. It sure was a lot easier to use the keyboard to type in and hit enter. So I thought that was fascinating and really cool. The other nice thing about this HDMI thing is if the TV powered off, at least my TV, which is, I believe, a LG. Yeah, you can see in the picture here. When you powered it back up, it would come up looking at HDMI input number 3, which is awesome. And then, of course, if I cycle power to the DA70, upon power up, it refed this into there. So it worked out great, easy. There was really nothing else I had to do in here. Yeah, that's it. I mean, over here, I had to enable the mouse. Yeah, I mean, I got the web server running, but that has nothing to do with HDMI. You know, that has nothing to do with that. So anyway, my opinion is that if you want to use the FlexEdge with a mouse and a corded keyboard, again, cannot be wireless. It must be a corded mouse and a keyboard. You could easily use this device as your hub to get both of those in. And then for this example, I used this inexpensive keyboard and I used this cheap mouse to do it for my trick. So pretty cool. And then I used just a regular 30-foot HDMI cable to go from here into the TV. But that's just a quick video I wanted to make on this, and that's about it. I never did it before, but it worked. So I feel confident in telling people, go ahead and use a mouse and keyboard as long as it's wired to the DA50, DA70 with HDMI video. Hey, thanks a lot, folks. Have a great day. We'll see you later.